Okay. Good afternoon. We'll start the public safety meeting for August 1st, 2024. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Good afternoon. We'll start the public safety meeting for August 1st, 2024. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Nice. All right, welcome, guys. Happy August 1st. College football is right around the corner. All right, so any agenda additions or changes?
No.
Okay. Moved, Commissioner Drosha, support by Commissioner Haskell. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Agenda approved. Any agenda additions, approval of July 11th, 2024 minutes? Moved, Commissioner Drosha, support Commissioner Moudry. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Minutes approved. First, limited public comment. Seeing none, Sheriff's Office update.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'll be short. The July highlights. On July 1st, the Parks Department got a screenshot of thread that said that there was going to be a huge party at Crandall at 10 o'clock that night. We responded to the area, made a lot of traffic stops around the park. I think we got the word out pretty quickly that we're not going to allow partying after 10 o'clock or any partying at all at the park. It's not what it's for. July 3rd, the larceny of mail. We've been having a rash of mailbox being broken into throughout the county and including Delta. Deputy McLean took a larceny of mail about 3:15 a.m. Received a video of a white SUV stealing mail from mailboxes, sent the video to all units working. At 3:37, the Deputy Hoeksema located the vehicle and was able to get it stopped. A search was conducted and an estimated 1,000 pieces of mail were recovered from the vehicle. 2 people that were in the car were arrested and lodged for stealing mail. Delta fireworks went really well. There was a large crowd as usual. We had several fights that occurred, and they were dispersed, but overall it was pretty calm that night, which was very good. On July 7th, we had a criminal sexual conduct investigation going on. A deputy was dispatched to Sparrow Hospital for a female who had reported that she was a victim of criminal sexual conduct. The female victim lives in Diamonddale. We were able to obtain a search warrant for the house where the assault happened, and we located several pieces of evidence. Charges being requested on the suspect who had left the area at the time. On July 9th, we had a breaking and entering in the 4700 block of South Kreitz Road. The fence was cut. The suspects gained entry through that fence to the property. 2 mini bikes were stolen. There have been 4 B&Es at this location since June. They must like that location for some reason. It's easy pickings, maybe, I don't know. July 10th, we had a breaking and entering at Snipes Retail Store in Delta Township. This occurred overnight, but somehow the alarm did not trigger for a call to go to 911. The firearm was used that the suspects used to get into the building. We've got some good leads and the investigation continues. July 11th, deputies responded to Crown Plaza Hotel for a suicidal person. The male was in town with his mother. They're from Ohio. They're competing in a national skeet shooting competition. I believe that's in Mason, just south of Mason there. The male was in the room with his mom. He chambered around in his competition shotgun, told her he was going to kill himself. His mom called 911. Mom wrestled the shotgun from him and left the room with a shotgun. The son deadbolted himself in the room. Deputy Marion was able to talk to the son and calm him down. The suspect gave up, and he was taken to Sparrow Hospital for evaluation. On July 12th, County Patrol day shift investigated a malicious destruction of property at the 9400 Sand Road at Sheeny Limestone. Unknown suspects damaged their heavy equipment, approximately $50,000 in damages to that equipment. The deputies did collect some evidence. Hopefully it'll be enough to get the suspect. July 15th, we assisted MSP. MSP attempted to stop a vehicle in the area of Jolly and Hagedorn, which is in Ingham County, for not having a working taillight. The vehicle fled and sideswiped the MSP car, trying to escape. MSP then pursued the vehicle through East Lansing, and then into Delta Township. Deputy Ritter was able to deploy his stop sticks, and the driver of the suspect vehicle then lost control in Lansing Township. Everyone in the vehicle was located and secured. I should say arrested. Unless they were juveniles, then they were secured. July 17th, retail fraud at Sportsman's Warehouse. After receiving a report of theft from a Sportsman's Warehouse, a deputy went into the Lansing to follow up and identify the suspect. As he made contact with him, the suspect attempted to run into the house while deputy was trying to ID him. The suspect was found in possession of a stolen handgun and was arrested by the deputy. July 17th, a semi-tractor trailer crash on westbound I-96 at Mount Hope. The driver lost control of his semi-tractor and went into the median. The trailer was loaded with cooking oil. Fully marked patrol cars blocked the lanes on I-96 for the north side wreckers to take care of the semi. Another vehicle crashed into one of our unoccupied patrol cars. That driver stated he left the strip club after a few drinks. No one was hurt. The driver was taken to the hospital for evaluation, and we're sent up a warrant request for OWI. July 19th, criminal sexual conduct warrant assist. We assisted MSP and located and arrested a suspect in Bellevue on a recently issued multi-county arrest warrant for criminal sexual conduct. Again, on 7/19, a male suspect made threatening phone calls directed towards Judge Rinke. We located the suspect and arrested him for those threats. 7/20, employees of the Meyer store in Delta Township called after the closing of the store and reported that there was a male that ran in the back door with a broken leg, screaming and trying to get into the freezer. The suspect was under the influence of drugs. He had a stolen car from his girlfriend and from Jackson, and had ran from Sagebush to Myers. The male's left ankle was completely broken. His left foot was dangling and rotated sideways 90 degrees. He was transported to the hospital by EMS. 7/21, we assisted Eaton Rapids officers who requested our assistance in a fight. By the time our deputies got there, they had already got him under control. However, the suspect's brother showed up and were following the Eaton Rapids patrol car as he was transported to the sheriff's office here. The brother to the jail, the Eaton Rapids officer said the brothers in the car needed to be arrested on local charges. When we tried to stop them, they would not stop, and they hit one of our patrol cars. We were able to maneuver our patrol cars and to pin their car in, and both were arrested. July 23rd, Deputy Gibson. I think he's one of our tallest deputies we have. I think he's 6'8". He's a big guy. Deputy Gibson stopped the car on Clinton County Trail in Chester doing 73 miles per hour in a 55 zone. It was a good stop. The driver claimed he is a sovereign, I should say she. The driver claimed she is a sovereign citizen and would not provide Deputy Gibson any identification or vehicle documentation. The driver was given many chances to provide her operator's license. However, she refused. She was eventually arrested and lodged on a few different charges. July 23rd, deputies responded to Settlers Hill Drive in Delta Township on a reported person who was suicidal. His wife called stating her husband was in a garage with his AR-15 rifle and was intoxicated. The wife told dispatch her husband was trying to get back into the house with a rifle in his hand. The wife had locked the house and hid upstairs. Upon arrival, deputies were able to get the wife out of the house safely and eventually negotiated with her husband to come out of the house. He was secured and charged with several crimes, including felony assault of his wife. The firearm was located and seized as evidence as well. On July 25th, County Patrol deputies investigated a report of a domestic strangulation and child abuse. Their investigation revealed evidence of a felonious domestic assault and a 7-year-old child with marks consistent of being assaulted. A male was arrested. Child Protective Services is involved, and the victim's child was seen by Eaton Rapids Hospital. safety plan it was in place. You know, some of these calls here are very stressful, especially when they call into dispatch, and dispatch has to try to calm these people down to get the information needed so they can provide it to the deputies or the police officers that are en route. So I give our dispatch people a lot of credit for being calm and getting the information we need. Thank you.
Quick question, how are we doing, thank you for the report, by the way. How are we doing patrol car wise? I mean, I guess there was 2 that were damaged. Are we doing okay with that as far as vehicles on the road?
They're able to, they're gonna need some minor repairs,
Gotcha.
so they'll be back on the road.
Okay, and one last question. With the mail, what's the crime on that? Isn't that a federal offense, messing with the mail? Is there a big deterrent there for people not to touch people's mailbox, or is it like a slap on the wrist?
You're dealing with a federal agency here, and we've dealt with federal agencies in the past, and they're hard to get a hold of, especially the postal not the carriers, but the postal inspectors. Whether or not it's gonna be turned over to them, I don't know. Might be better off, the charges might be better here at Eaton County than it is at the federal level. So I'm sure they've contacted the postal inspectors on this, but
Gotcha.
I think Eaton County will have a better severity of penalties than the federal government.
All right, thank you. There's a question over here. Did I see a hand? Nope. Commissioner Haskell.
No question, Sheriff, but just kudos again on the mail thing. Been in touch with a lot of Delta residents that were very happy to see that those arrests made, so pass along our thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for the report. Looks like we have 2 resolutions to review.
Yes, both are programs that we currently have, the West Side Residential Alternative to Prison, which began in October 17, and then the Intensive Detention Reentry Program, which began July 1st in 2023. If you have questions, the undersheriff is here. Mike's not on.
Commissioner Drosha.
Resolutions together?
Sure, I have no problem with that. Do we have any questions first of all for Undersheriff Cook?
They're just continuations, right?
Yes.
Continuations, right? All right, do I have a motion?
Move those together then.
Yep, everyone okay with moving them together?
Yeah.
Support by Commissioner Drosha. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we'll move those together. Any other questions on those 2 resolutions? Do I have a motion to move them? So moved, Commissioner.
But we just did that.
Did that, yeah.
Oh, so we're okay there. All right, we'll just do it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, both resolutions carry. All right. Moving on to Central Dispatch update.
Good afternoon. Please don't mind my attire. I was at the full-scale AVI exercise at Charlotte High School this afternoon, so I dressed the part. So July, we don't do a ton of training. As you can see, usually that section is pretty full, but we do have a lot of people that like to take vacation in July, and we do have a lot of different events going on. So we kind of take it easy on the month of July. Our current projects right now is the dispatch floor remodel. As you can see at the end of my report, the lovely new carpet and, of course, Hutch. He always makes everything way cooler, right? So the furniture got moved back up this week. We have some electric to kind of finish off, just some lighting to move a little bit. And next week, Tuesday, is when we are going to start moving CAD stations back up and have them go live. So they've spent this summer in the basement, and I think they're ready to come out. So, and then one thing that got rolled over from last fiscal year is the quiet room, lactation room, and it has sleeping quarters. So we are going to start that project. I talked to Director Powers, and probably next week already. So what is happening with that is basically there's these very large lockers that were meant for uniforms and storing like a uniform and boots and all that stuff. So we are getting rid of those. putting carpet in it, and then it is sleeping quarters, so it's something that you can utilize if the weather's bad and they're unable to make it home and then back to work. I know that emergency management can use it, part of the activation of the EOC if needed. But then it's also a space where my dispatchers can step off the floor and kind of get away from the noise for a little bit. Sometimes that helps, just even 5-10 minutes to step off the floor and not have that radio traffic and the phones ringing. So it gives them a quiet place to kind of decompress a little bit. And that was a rollover from the previous fiscal year. It just never got done. And then, obviously, communications unit support. We had lots of events. We had Delta Fireworks, Eaton Rapids 4th of July celebration, which we had the parade and the fireworks. And then we did have some dispatchers go to the Eaton County Fair that provided support, communication support, and a little bit of public relations at the Eaton County Fair. And then I did create a communications plan for the 2024 Olivet Firefighter Festival. We do have a current opening for a telecommunicator vacancy. We have oral board scheduled for August 12th. Hutch, he has to be recertified every year, and he passed it with flying colors. Wouldn't expect anything less. And we also celebrated his 2nd birthday. So, we had a good month, and August 1st today, again, we had the full-scale AVI exercise. So we were off to a busy start. And then also on Monday next week is where Supervisor Libby Howland will be receiving her Line Supervisor of the Year award from National APCO in Orlando, Florida. I will be attending to watch her get her award. It's probably going to be really hot, so I'm not super looking forward to the weather, but it should be good, and I will take lots of pictures. As you can see, I always add pictures to my monthly report, so.
All right, thank you, Kelly. for the
Thank you.
report. Any questions? Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. All right, next, emergency management update.
Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mitchell Carlson, and I am the emergency management intern for the summer. In terms of planning, it seems like it was a relatively busy month. Ryan, Ella, and Kelly met with the University of Olivet to discuss the Rave Alert system, and there was a follow-up with the university's public safety and social media team. Our office, in cahoots with Eaton County Central Dispatch and Technology Services, met with Centennial Electric on July 19th to discuss backup power sources for the EOC. This past Tuesday, we all attended a partnership breakfast hosted by the Lansing Board of Water and Light to discuss the remnants of the last summer storm. On the same day in the afternoon, we all attended a solution room that was led by Ryan at Michigan State University for the Big Ten Emergency Management Conference to basically go over some daily challenges that all the universities have and look for solutions from different perspectives. Eaton County Emergency Management, in collaboration with the Sheriff's Office, has undertaken a grant proposal project by the Homeland Security Grant Program to acquire some gas masks, 80 to be precise, to ensure that the sheriffs can be safe in response to incidents. The total cost for the project is expected to be around $6,000. The final cost at the end of the grant project will be reported at the time. On July 15th, Eaton County Emergency Management alerted stakeholders of a slight weather risk, strong winds, hail, heavy rainfall. Our usual protocol involves issuing an EOC situational report. We changed the approach to that with information from the National Weather Service, and instead of issuing a situational report, we shared details via email with relevant stakeholders. Like Kelly said, with a remodel to the dispatch floor, we provided them with a webinar link to join remotely. For that situation, we issued a severe thunderstorm watch at around midnight on July 16th, which was canceled approximately 2 hours later. No damage was occurred. Now I'd like to talk a little bit personally about myself and my internship this summer. I have had the pleasure of working with all of these wonderful people and yourselves. And I just want to thank you all for the possibilities to do that and for the funding for this internship program. It's been a great experience and something that seems like it should definitely carry on in the future. I have earned my Professional Development Series certification from FEMA. I have attended multiple conferences, the Great Lakes Homeland Security Conference and the North American Active Assailant Conference, where I've learned a lot and met a lot of different people. I'm currently in the process of adapting an active violence incident tabletop exercise that Ella has developed into a game that we can use in the future. Yeah, as I've said, it's been a great experience. Thank you all for everything, and I will turn it over to Ryan to talk about the Section 19 award from the 2023 storm.
Thanks, Mitchell, for that report, and good luck with your future endeavors.
Thank you.
So just to give you a quick update on the August 2023 storms, almost a year later, right? You may have seen and these things take about a year. Disasters take about a year out of your life, which is fine. If you saw in the news this week, we are getting reimbursement through Section 19 of the Emergency Management Act for things like emergency protective measures taken following the August 2023 storms. That's activation of your local emergency operations center, overtime costs for personnel to respond to protect public health and safety, as well as debris removal for a lot of local jurisdictions that had to remove that vegetative debris out of roadways, and so on and so forth. So to give you that breakdown, a lot of the news reports just gave an overall cost. Eaton County was getting like between $800,000 and $900,000. To break that down even further in terms of like political subdivisions, City of Grand Ledge, City of Potterville are getting $250,000 each. Delta Township getting $145,000. Ourselves as the county getting like $134,000. Village of Diamonddale getting about $61,000, and Windsor Township getting like $3,700,000. So that's where that total breakdown comes in for those reimbursement costs. A lot of legwork goes into that over the course of a year, especially the first like month following the disaster, trying to do assessments, making sure we're getting all of our documentation, at least initial documentation. And then it just kind of ebbs and flows over the course of the year in terms of kind of how the process goes, doing a little bit of lobbying on the back end too. But we're almost about closed out with that August 2023 storm. So that's exciting to say. And I'm really glad that we were able to get some reimbursement costs back into not only here at the county, but with our other jurisdictions too. So just again, thank you for all the good work over the course of the last year. Certainly with Ella in our office, the controller's office, working with appointed and elected officials throughout all the affected jurisdictions. It takes quite a coordination effort, but happy that we're able to, again, get some funding back into some of these jurisdictions.
Thanks, Ryan. When will that pay out? Do you know when that?
So there's still some documentation that needs to be gathered, invoices showing proof of payment and all that kind of stuff. At this point, it's kind of up to the individual jurisdictions to do that. So I know we've turned everything over to Connie in the controller's office, and I believe Heidi was doing some more back-end work on that, but hopefully can get that process shortly.
All right, thank you. Any other questions for Ryan? All right, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
All right, next we have Community Corrections Advisory Board appointment.
Yes, this is Judge Van Langefeld's appointment to the board. Just needs approval through here on the Board of Commissioners.
Is that by a motion?
Yes, please.
I would move for the approval.
Motion by Commissioner Drosha,
Support.
support by Commissioner Haskell. If no other questions, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Carries, motion carries. All right, any miscellaneous items? Miscellaneous?
None.
None? Seeing none, we'll move to limited public comment. Looks like we have none. We will adjourn to September 5th, Thursday, September 5th.